هلا بالخميس هلا بالخميس ويكند عيال هلا بالخميس هلا بالخميس هلا بالخميس ويكند عيال بسم الله والحمد لله والصلاة والسلام على رسول الله وعلى آله وصحبه ومن استنى بسنته إلى يوم الدين ثم أما بعد. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. And hala bil khamis. Thursday always brings that special feeling. It's almost weekend. And on top of that, as Muslims, we have the best day of the week, the Eid of the week. Just that day that rejuvenates you spiritually. We're in our normal segment. Unlike our previous podcast, who, by the way, alhamdulillah, we thank you for your likes and your subscribing and continue doing that, inshallah ta'ala. We're in the month of August, and in South Africa, it's Women's Month and Women's Day. And the other day I saw somebody say, Sheikh, that every day is Women's Day for a Muslim, for a husband, for a son, for a father. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. How are you doing, Sheikh?
Wa alaikum salam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Alhamdulillah, alhamdulillah.
Long time, Sheikh. A long time. We just hear the voice on the radio.
MashaAllah.
Sheikh, how do you prepare for madrasa on air? I mean, you are teaching all of Cape Town, the basics of deen. And sometimes I catch a bit of it. I can't say honestly that I listen to the whole one because we're all busy.
Yes.
But then the segments of the names and so... No, there's a hadith segment. And
they say better plan, prevent poor performance. You must plan and prepare, I prepare normally in the weekend for everything.
Yeah.
So, and sometimes like regarding the names, there's a lot of names coming. So you
have
you have
gotten
8 minutes.
A strange name, like a really, really strange name?
I yesterday, in fact, someone asked like Tarzan. So I tell the guy, Tarzan, I don't know, maybe
but that sounds like a cartoon character.
Yeah, like Tarzan, yeah. So I wasn't sure, but sometimes, the pronunciation, it can make a big difference in the meaning of the name,
People, Sheikh, wallah, I find a big problem with this. They purely rely on Google. Yeah. Then they and it's all about sounding nice and, being unique, being different. My nephew was born last week, alhamdulillah, he got his name on Sunday, and they named him Abdullah. And you don't hear these types of names anymore. While the Prophet ﷺ said the best name is Abdullah, Abdul Rahman, Amatullah, Amatul Rahman. I mean,
no, it's very important, mashallah, to I always say, the object of giving a good name, a meaningful name. That's what you must, not a common name. And sometimes, the parents choose a name which like no one have.
Yeah.
A unique. Faridun min naw'ihi. But Sheikh, by the way, you're speaking about Google now. I heard someone say yesterday, he say like Google, it's Google male or female. So somebody say, no, Google is female. Why? If you type the word, the suggestion come quickly to you. Before even you finish,
you have an answer.
You have an answer, yeah.
Allah, Sheikh, we need, what can we do without our wives? They have the answers to everything.
With the women, Allah Akbar, as a mother, as a daughter, as a wife, as a sister, subhanallah, mashallah.
Yeah, but Islam loves women. No. We have this, as a father of daughters, you must be scared, to send them out in the world, the different challenges they might face. And it's important for our sisters to know that they are respected by Islam. They are honored by Islam. Islam puts them on a pedestal.
In higher ranks, yeah.
Yeah, Islam loves them. Allah loves them.
Definitely. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala loves all of us. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala also honored the women. It is Surah An-Nisa. As a mother, Allah honored her. As a sister, Allah honored her. As a wife, Allah honored her. As a daughter. And if you study the life of Nabi Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, rifqan bil qawarir. Nabi sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. And I always say when I speak Sheikh, about women,
rifqan bil qawarir.
You must translate it, Sheikh.
You must be gentle with those vessels. When people buy new crockery or they buy something crystal bowl, they care for it. They're very cautious.
They are very careful. Yeah.
They would say this is breakable or fragile.
Fragile. In France, they say fragile. Fragile. Okay, fragile.
And our sisters, mothers, wives are that qawarir. So we have to treat them gently.
And that's what the Prophet ﷺ said. You must be very careful with them. You know, that's why if you tell your wife or any, you know, the woman generally something, she will never forget about it.
Like
Even after years, she will tell you about it.
Sheikh, they have that joke, man. You know, some Indian women have that red button. They say it's like a recording button. You know, the
Yes,
recording button is red, so they say that's a recording
okay.
button.
So
They
you must be
forget-
very careful.
must be very careful what you say.
Subhanallah.
But how
MashaAllah.
does Islam honor a woman, Sheikh? They have that surah that's called Surah Nisa. There's no Surah Al-Rijal.
There's no Surah Rijal, yeah, only for the woman.
How did the coming of the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam change the society? Did Arabs always respect women?
No, I think that's very important because that is the Ayyamul Jahiliyyah. If someone want to know how Islam honored the woman, then he must study the period before Islam. And they call it the period of Jahiliyyah, the period of ignorance, and how they used to treat the woman and disrespect the woman and enslave the woman. Subhanallah. In fact, you know, when somebody his heads, you know, receive a news, وَإِذَا بُشِّرَ أَحَدُهُمْ بِالْأُنثَى, you know, تَرَى وَجْهَهُ مُسْوَدًّا وَهُوَ كَظِيمٌ. Even sometimes when they receive, Allah says that in the Quran, when they receive that the newborn is a girl, you will see, yani, you know, down, sad, you will see a person, you know, desperate. Subhanallah. And when Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala sent the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, as I say, He revealed the entire surah, Surah An-Nisa. And the Nabi Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, and this is for those who say we all follow the Quran. You know, no one will be able to understand the Quran without the Sunnah of Nabi Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. لأن السنة شارحة للقرآن. That the Sunnah, it explained to the Quran. And the Nabi sallallahu alayhi wa sallam emphasized, you know, even when it comes to the best, you won't be the best. Even if you are the best to the world, you know, to your college, to, you know, a successful man, a businessman. But at home you are Fir'aun and you don't treat and respect the woman. You are a loser.
Yeah, but that's like the total opposite of what individuals like Umar ibn al-Khattab used to be. We know him to be that strong, you know, man outside. But then there's a story where a person goes to complain about his wife to Umar and finds him very gentle, almost subservient.
Yes,
to his wife, knowing the nature of his wife, he didn't have that same outlook that he had outside, and that's what we need to be gentle.
Yeah. No, that's the karam.
And from my side, my wife is going to point fingers at me when she listens to this because we're not perfect. Also,
yes,
you know, there's the
one is
sunnah.
perfect.
There's the sunnah, and we try to be ambassadors of the sunnah, and we try to live the sunnah the best we can, but. We human beings, and so
we have our time, and that is it, you know.
Yeah.
No, but as long, you know, you respect a woman as a woman, and that's why لا يغلبهن إلا لئيم ولا يكرمهن إلا كريم. Only a gentle, only a strong man, only an honest man, only من تربى, يعني only whomsoever his mother teach him
to be a gentleman,
and he see in his house the status of the woman, how his father treat his mother, you know, then he will respect the woman. And only a foolish man, a useless man, a weak man who yani abuse and oppress and enslave and look down at the woman. Allahu Akbar.
Sheikh, you know, statistics show that you can't really say it's poor people that beat their wives,
Yes.
or it's people from a certain area that beat their wives, but it was common when somebody had a bad day at work,
Yes.
you know, and he comes back, that very often you find domestic violence being a result of him being either oppressed at work. So traditionally or historically in apartheid time, we find in certain races more domestic violence because the guy was, you know, oppressed at work, he was belittled at work, he comes home and takes it out on his wife.
And that's why one of the advice, you know, that the house must be the tranquility and the peace and the comfort, you know, and a place where a husband release. Imagine, you know, a husband come from work, maybe have a problem, bad day. From the door, his wife, she say, yeah, we need this, we need this, we need this. You know, how you expect a person to feel. And that's why they say first you must welcome him. Like that brother, you know, there's a famous YouTuber, you know, and he says, you know, when he was in UK, you know, he's living by these people, and he see, you know, when the men come from home, the wife say, "Are you okay? Do you need to relax? Must I make you coffee or tea?" He say, when I come home, my wife from the door, she say, "Did you bring this? Did you bring that? Did you bring that? Did you bring that?" But we're not saying that, but this is the beauty of, of understanding the responsibility as a woman, you know. And if you don't make your house a place of yani, giving love and comfort and tranquility and peace, and then your man will look for it, in other place, and that's where the problems start. So it is very important, yani, for the ladies to understand, the importance of welcoming the husband, that, especially for those who, there's people who work from 4 o'clock to 8 o'clock, Shaykh, subhanallah. Imagine
16 hours outside of the house.
They're exhausted and they come home, then you want to finish them. The home must be for them like the Jannah. They want to come home, they want to rush to home. So that's very important.
You always hear brothers saying, now I'm taking up fishing or golfing, and you ask why, and I just need to be out of the house.
True.
You should be missing your home. You should be missing your wife.
And that only happens, Sheikh Yusuf, if the women create that environment.
Yeah, man can be how poor, Sheikh, and if you create a palace, then he wants to be there. And we're not pointing a finger at the woman. Right?
Yes, no.
It's like a two-way thing. So traditionally we have roles, Sheikh. Right?
Yes.
We're not saying that the woman can't work. In certain areas, there's a necessity for them to work. I mean, when we, alhamdulillah, when we found out my wife's pregnant, we could take, and there's so many options before. I'm talking about 20, 30 years ago. There weren't that many. There were, but very few gynecologists, Muslim, MashaAllah. Female gynecologists. Now you find them, mashallah, there are quite a few. You have a choice who you want to go to. You don't want to send your wife in that private setting, and it's so intimate to a male doctor.
Yes.
So there's definitely place and space and necessity for women to do certain things.
Yes.
Right? So we're saying that, mashallah, we're not saying that they shouldn't work, but there's a traditional role. Right, since forever, the man is the provider and the wife is the nurturer, the one who looks after the kids better. I mean, you can admit or not admit, Sheikh. You can babysit, but looking after your wife does a million times better job.
No, that is it. And that's why الأم مدرسة إذا أعددتها أعددت شعبا طيب الأعراق. The first madrasa of the child is home, and the first teacher is the mother. Subhanallah. And that's why they call it because the child always go يعني to her. أمها لأنه يأمها يعني يرجع إليها. And good woman, good life. Good woman, good life. And that's why the Prophet ﷺ say, الدنيا متاع. The entire world is enjoyment, but the best enjoyment, a good woman and a righteous woman. And there's two quality, if you want to marry and you are willing to marry and you find someone, you must always look at these two qualities which Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala mentioned in the daughter of Shu'aib. نعم عليه السلام. The first one is يعني الحياء, modesty. It's very important for the woman, modesty. He say الحياء جميل في الرجال وأجمل في النساء.
ما شاء الله.
حياء, modesty, it's not only for women, it's beautiful. Yani it's good for men to have haya, to lower his gaze, to have respect, to have human. But modesty is more beautiful in the woman. Allahu Akbar. And لكل يعني دين خلق. And for every religion there is a character. And the religion of Islam and the character of Islam, it's haya and modesty. And that's why they say, if you don't have modesty, then you can do anything.
Yeah, words of the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. If it's not there, just do what you please.
And the second one, respect. Modesty and respect. Because if the woman does not respect the man, and that is يعني, that's the end of the way.
It's almost like there are certain words, man, and might be a bit controversial. There are certain words that we find in the Sunnah, right? But it's almost like it's become swear words amongst the sisters. The word respect, and there's one big no-no word that women don't like: obedience. Ta'a for the zawja. But we find it in the Sunnah of the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, and it's so confusing that we have these traditional roles, yet sometimes we find that, and it happens both with men and women. So we said traditionally a man goes out to look for sustenance. And the woman nurtures the children. We find today that a doctor decides she wants to marry a hafiz of the Quran, right? And she tells him, look, I'm going to earn more money, so you stay at home, I'll go and I'll go to my medical practice, and you look after the kids. so that we can have more money. Because if she stays at home and he goes out to teach Quran, he's going to earn very little. So they've changed the roles. There's nothing wrong. Is there something wrong in that if they do agree, Sheikh, with that?
There's nothing wrong with it, but it's always the responsibility of the men, and that's why Allah said, "Ar-rijalu qawwamun." You know, like someone asked, you know, his wife earned more than him. I have a question like a few days ago. So he say like, I don't think he must work, you know, because his wife is earning big money. So what's he want? I say no. Even if your wife, she is trillionaire, she is a billionaire, and if she don't want to give nothing,
She has a right to do that.
yes. But if she want to help, Allah will reward her. But it is your responsibility as a man to give her the necessity, you know what, provide her food, you know, whatever, you know, her health and everything. So that is very important.
Now, in the shifting of the role, Sheikh, we said we have our original role as king, as the one who goes out and goes to look for sustenance. So even in that changing of the role, the man still wants to be the man. If you have that agreement, you can't tell him, look, he can't expect that the wife also went to work and cook. But in his heart, he wants his wife's cooked food. The same like the lady, she forces to go and work. Right?
Yes,
So we find the lady says, no, there's necessity to work. Then she goes out to work and then she says, my money is my money. It's almost like people want the bread buttered both sides, man. She's looking for to go out in the world, claiming to help the husband. And then when the packet comes, she says, no, this is mine. We have that guidelines in the Quran and the Sunnah, sticking to what you were created to do, man. It's like, you know, sometimes Sheikh, you drive a Toyota, but now you have to go buy 5 bags of cement. It's not made for that, but you can do it.
Yes.
But if you do it every day that way,
And
the
you're
car's
gonna
going to
spoil
break
it.
down. And
Yes.
similarly, you know, a marriage needs to be oiled. And you can swap roles if it's agreed upon. It's not haram per se.
To help each other, يعني.
To help each other.
help each other, yeah.
But when you do it constantly, it becomes...
And that's why Sheikh Kafa'a is very important, you know, in Islam, you know. Compatibility, what?
compatibility. Yeah.
Yes, it's very, very important of Islam because I experienced many marriage where, you know, the woman is there, very high educated, and the man is there, or the, you know, it's good always for the men, so they can take full responsibility.
Yes.
But if the woman is, you know, then like someone say, you know, the couple I was counseling, and the man, he say, yes, she earn more than me and stuff, and she say, no, I pay this and I pay this and I pay this and I pay this and I pay this, and he can't even like take this small thing. Look over, you know. I tell him, brother, you know, basically she's looking after you, so you can't, you know, have it all your way. You know, she is doing something. So there's small thing you can, you know, that certain thing you can just like, inshallah, slowly it will. But you can't like expect the woman. Yes, if you were the man and you were, looking after her financially, and then you can say.
Yeah.
But now it's not like this.
You're giving away. You're giving away from your responsibility, but you want the full respect, and it goes both ways.
Yeah, it's go both way. Yeah,
Yeah.
But Sheikh, you speak about obedient, you know, and the woman doesn't.
That's an ugly word according to people, but it's found in the Sunnah. It can really be a bad word because we basically find people want to go to Jannah, right?
Yes.
And I might sound like a old traditional Shaykh. I don't want to sound like that, but this is a hadith of the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Where he gives like the GPS towards Jannah for a woman.
Yes.
إذا صلت المرأة خمسها صامت شهرها وأطاعت بعلها قيل لها ادخل الجنة من أي باب شئت.
I agree with Sheikh, but some men they take that as, you know, for themselves, a point to prove to the woman.
Yeah.
You know, like
you must be subservient to me.
Aywa. And this is I disagree with this. A woman is not a slave. She also have a desire like you, and she also want to go out, and also she need her time also. She needs sometimes alone. She is a human being. Definitely. Although she is, you know, multiple tasks. You know, she can cook, look after the kids, but still, Sheikh. Yeah. You know, wallah, I remember when we, you know, we're doing the Muwatta, you know, and our Ustaz tell us, you know, we reached such a certain chapter, I can't remember, but it was speaking about women, and he said, you know, people have that idea, you know, the Sheikh, you know. If you marry a sheikh or a Maulana,
your life is easy.
Yes,
you're going to be respected.
And it's not like this. You know, a sheikh also have a desire. You want to go holiday. You know, you want to go Arabillah, mashallah. You want to go there. You want to go there. And that's what, you know, the youth of today, You know, sometime when you meet, you know, I personally meet some youngsters, you know, and you speak with them and I tell them, no, I was there. I play soccer, I play table tennis, and I was there, and I was in Palak, and I was. Then they say, Subhanallah, you know. And I remember once I was in Khudini, but I was not wearing my qamis.
And they didn't recognize you.
No. When they see me, these youngsters, they run to their parents. They say, come. You see, look how Sheikh looking nice. You know, it's something I felt good.
Yes.
Because, you know, they have an idea that Imam is only making salah and this. And, you know, it's not like this.
Sheikh, I think that the way some youngsters, I won't say the Sheikh, it was the Sheikh's fault,
Yes.
but the way youngsters perceived the Mashaykh before put them off from, you know, taking up this profession or taking on this journey of seeking knowledge, man. With YouTube, things are much open. I mean, there's that Shaykh Ashik, is not our Shaykh Ashik, the guy from UK, man,
Yes,
who
from
drove the
UK.
Ferrari.
Yes.
And I think he's doing some, he says he's an imam, but he does Bitcoin, he sells trades and things like that.
Yeah, he
so he
trades.
could afford to buy a sports car. This somehow, you know, puts a different perception in the mind of a youngster of what the Sheikh has to do, because people think traditionally the Sheikh must have the broken clothing and the broken car.
Subhanallah.
And he must be in his masjid.
You must
35
drive
watts.
a Camry.
He can only drive a camera if he's lucky.
No. I always tell people, Sheikh Yusuf, you know, التدين هو الابتعاد عن الحرام لا الابتعاد عن الحياة. Righteousness, obedience, to be religious, to be a good Muslim, a good person, is not to stay and abstain from life. It's to abstain from whatever displeases Allah. You can enjoy life also. You can take your family out. You can whatever you can do. So that is very important. We can't put link the deen with a narrow mind. You know, doesn't work like that.
Yeah, no, it's a misconception on what zuhd is, Sheikh. Zuhd
Yes.
actually has a place in Islam.
Yes.
But cutting off from something, you have to have it. I mean,
Yes.
if the doctor tells me you have to cut off sugar, you have to eat less sugar, that means I had sugar in my life. So
Yes.
when I say I'm cutting myself off this dunya, it means it's accessible to me.
Yes.
All right?
Yes,
but
but-
it's not going to be in my heart. It's going to be in the
Yes,
bank.
yeah,
It's going to be in the safe. It's going to be in my
Yes.
pocket.
I won't give more attention to it.
So if Allah takes it away, it doesn't make me less of a slave.
Yes.
to Allah
Subhanallah.
subhanahu wa ta'ala.
هذا هو.
All right, so when that money enters the heart and it's taken away, then people take their lives, people become upset.
No. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala protect. That's why somebody used to say, اللهم اجعل الدنيا في أيدينا ولا تجعلها في قلوبنا.
Allah.
You say, oh Allah, give us dunya in our hand. Don't put it in our heart. In our hand, we can control it. Salah, leave it. Whatever, leave it. But if it is in your heart, then you will leave the command of Allah and you will start running behind dunya and you will only receive what Allah decree for you.
Definitely. Sure, that is ihsan, man. You know, when we find people trading, for example,
Yes.
and you find often people looking for fatawa, look, if it's Jummah time, can I leave my non-Muslim guy to still be in the shop? And
Yes.
technically, yes, because he doesn't need to be in Jummah.
Yes.
But
Only the
he's-
mukallaf.
He's not mukallaf
Yes.
with the Jummah. But why? If the Quran says, wadarul bay, leave off trading,
Yes.
you want to
No,
look for
no.
loopholes, do we think that we will have a 5 cent or 5 rand more?
That will make you
if we
rich.
ke-
That
if
will
we keep
remove
the
your
business
blessing.
open for an hour? I mean, it takes a lot, Sheikh, for example, a takeaways or a restaurant to close for an hour during lunch hour. But then if you leave something for the sake of Allah subhanahu wa
Allah
ta'ala,
will give you something better.
Allahu Akbar. Sheikh, we speak about women.
Yes.
right?
MashaAllah.
It's 2023. And in the West, when you ask the question, what is a woman? People, I mean, you can go to YouTube, search what is a woman. People will say, I can't say. This guy is asking a woman, what is a woman? And when I'm saying a female, when I say a woman, I say a female. He's asking her, what is a woman? She says, but I can't say what a woman is because I'm not a woman. I identify as a man. But what is a woman, Sheikh? What is a woman?
الله أكبر. المرأة هي الحنان وهي الرحمة وهي يعني السكينة وهي هي كل الخيرات. The woman, it's the mercy Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has given us. It is that kindness. It is that tranquility. The woman is my mother. The woman is my wife. The woman is my daughter. The woman is my sister. Subhanallah. Like Socrates say, the woman it's التي تعلمك أن تحب عندما تريد أن تكره وتعلمك أن تبتسم عندما تريد أن تيأس.
Little by little.
Okay,
because we sometimes get carried away with the Arabic, and those who don't understand lose it. But little by little, Sheikh.
Socrates say the woman is that person who make you laugh when you want to cry. So she has something special.
She has that ability.
That ability. The woman, she is that person who will make you smile when you are sad. She will make you, she will inspire you when you feel down. Subhanallah. She will make you laugh when you want to hate. That Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala gives the ability for the woman, subhanallah.
So she brings stability now, Sheikh. And we see, and there are many, mashallah, people who raise their children beautifully all on their own. You find single parents who do an excellent job.
Subhanallah.
And we need to commend the mothers who do that sometimes without financial help from the father. We find that so much. May Allah grant us goodness. And here again is where we find brothers, when they divorce the ex-wives, it's as if they divorce the children also. And then we find the sisters, doing what they must and looking after the children. This is, mashallah, lots of cases, but you cannot compensate for the absence of a father. Of both parents. Because like you said, the mother is there to make you love when you're about to hate, to make you laugh when you're about to cry. But the father brings another dynamic. He brings discipline. He brings, he brings a different type of dynamic to the home. The mother generally, because I find also sometimes, I found this before, where one of my colleagues warns the children, you wait till your mother comes. Usually the mother says, oh, you want to be naughty? Wait till your father comes, he's going to sort you out. Right? Because he brings that dynamic. But one of my colleagues, I had him, discipline the children or warn the children, telling them, if you don't listen, I'm going to tell your mother. Because the mother was... So usually when we have this type of role, Sheikh, as general, it doesn't mean that there's a specific couple where the dynamic might be a bit different. The mother will be the disciplinarian, the father will be more loving, but in general, this is
like someone say, the wife and the husband is like the day and the night. Each and every one serves its own purpose. The day you work, you there, but the night give you, that. So you can't compare the father and the mother. So everyone he have his own role.
Like the sun and the moon.
Like the sun and the moon. Aywa, mashallah.
I mean, it's mentioned Yusuf alayhi salam sees the sun and the moon as his parents in his dream.
Subhanallah.
So Sheikh, I don't always want to sketch or draw the picture that Al-Gharb is always the Gharb. It's always the West.
Yes.
That's the boogeyman. I'm not saying that. But when we mess with the role, man, there's that imbalance. There's somebody that's telling our Muslim sister, your role as a mother is not important. You can do something better. You can be a billionaire. And why can't she? Khadija radiallahu ta'ala anha was a successful business lady. Hind, the wife of Abu Sufyan, she was also, before Islam, she was very affluent. Right? So they had leadership roles. But the most important role, like we said, we can't compensate for the absence of a mother. Sheikh, the other day I was driving, and there are many people out there working because they need to work. I was driving past a school that offers aftercare. It was like past 3, almost 4 o'clock, and these kids were just sitting, at the school waiting for their parents to come, home to fetch them. You think to yourself, how does this child feel? He's basically like a robot, man. He goes to school, after school he goes to aftercare, after aftercare he goes to madrasa. By the time he sees his mother and his father, he's tired or she's tired, they go to sleep. What is there left,
for
how much time is left? Yeah, how much time is there really for kids? And I'm saying, and I'm not pointing a finger because
because
for many people it's a necessity.
Yeah, they must work together.
Is it always? Because the Prophet ﷺ says, if you wake up in the morning, aminan fi sirbi, the person who wakes up safe in his home, mu'afan fi jasadi, he's got health, he has the food of that day, It's as if Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has given him the whole world.
Yes. No, طبعا.
So sometimes, is it really important to have that third car? Is it really important to have another home? Is it important to have another property? Or do we shortchange our children when mommy and daddy is working all the time and working weekends and there's no time left for...
Like someone say you're gonna only live once and you will only witness your children growing once. You know, and that's why quality time for the family and for the kids is very important. You can see the effect and you can see in the character of the children's those who have only a mother, no father in the picture, or no father and mother in the picture at all. Or when the mother, she is at home looking after them, you can see that. I promise you. Yes, you can see the difference. I mean, and subhanallah, I want to salute, you know, some women's mothers who do the job of the father and the mother. Subhanallah, may Allah reward them. It's not something easy, especially in time we live in. You know, but alhamdulillah, there's mothers who invest in the kids, and you can see that in the, you know, how disciplined the character, subhanallah. You will never say they only have a mother. And or not only a mother sitting at home, a mother who go in the morning, seek the provision, come at night, and still she do the job. Allahu Akbar.
I mean, historically, Sheikh, some of our giants in the Islamic sciences were raised by single mothers. The likes of Imam Ahmad, Imam al-Bukhari, Imam al-Nawawi. The Prophet ﷺ, basically, his mother didn't have a husband. Malik. So, you know, traditionally, it's possible to create giants all on your own. So, like I said, we take our hats off for these women. But Sheikh, there's a traditional role, again, between males and females. It's not like it's sketched by the West, you know, us against them. Who's better? The Prophet ﷺ says we are shaqa'iq, two and a halves, partners.
Yes.
It's not about who's better. So there's this movie, Sheikh, the Barbie movie. And it's made millions, you know, in its opening week. I think I saw somewhere 347 million in its dollars in its opening week at the movies. Now, traditionally, a doll is something innocent, Sheikh. Toys are something innocent. How does a toy affect our child when it's just a dead thing? And Barbie's been around for a very long time. And the only danger that people looked at Barbie presenting a girl is basically what beauty is, because Barbie's very thin and tall. And, you know, Barbie's got the perfect figure, where most of the sisters, they don't have a Barbie figure. So people... At one point, there was a big problem in our community with eating disorders. People believing that to be thin is what real beauty is, and it impacted them negatively. But now, come 2023, we have this Barbie movie, which now brings something totally different. Where in this movie, I haven't watched it, I only watched the responses to it and short clips from the movie. In this movie, we have Ken, the boy doll, and we have Barbie, which is the girl doll. And then Barbie is actually battling Ken. They're fighting because it's basically portraying Ken as being the boss over Barbie. In Islam, what's the role of a man over a woman? Are we their boss or are we their protectors?
You're protector. And that's why the Prophet ﷺ say, if you want to be the best, you know, amongst all, then you be the best to your family. And that's why Allah say, الرجال قوامون على النساء. Allah give you the responsibility, you know, the finance responsibility and everything. It's on the shoulder of the men. As we say now, even if the woman can afford and she have, it still will be always the responsibility of the man to take care of his wife. Even in time of inheritance, the sister will take her part, but you as the brother, you still must look after her. Allah.
So she can basically, Sheikh, if our father leaves us $1 million and she takes her portion and I get more than her, she can spend all the money on bags and makeup and abayas.
Yes, and
I still have to
look after her.
Isn't that, I mean, often we find sisters saying the men can do everything. Summer's coming up, Sheikh, and I love summer because, you know, flip-flops and your 3/4 pants, and, you know, it's nice weather. And the sisters, they say, no, why must we cover up awrah? why must we do this and the men? But there are so many things that we as men can't do.
Yes.
That women can do. I mean, I'm sure you would have loved to wear a silk thobe, Sheikh.
Yes.
A pure silk. Wouldn't that feel nice on your skin?
Yes.
Wouldn't that be something nice to wear?
Subhanallah.
But we can't.
Yeah.
So there are things that sisters can do that men can't do.
And that's how Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala created us, And as you know, the woman is awra. So, we can't say what the men do and the woman doesn't do. Sami'na wa ata'na. We listen and we obey. But end of the day, it is the principles of Islam and our iman which will push us, and guide us to do what Allah wants from us. It's not about he say and the people they are doing and this and this. It's about you and Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, understanding what Allah wants from you, what will bring you close to Allah, understanding about the importance of modesty. Yes, as you
on
said,
both sides.
on both sides. And also, as you mentioned, alhamdulillah, we want a woman doctor, we want, all this is very important, but we cannot demolish the principles of Islam to achieve that outstanding rank in the community.
Yeah.
Because that we're destroying our akhirah and we're destroying our religion. Yes, the woman can still also take a walk in Sea Point, but as long as she is covered as well, she can go swim and is covered as well. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala make this deen easy for us.
Sheikh, I was watching a video. You speak about keeping things pure. I was watching a video of one of the mashayikh from America, one of the Tulab al-Ilm, and he was saying he is a supporter of the pop culture. So everybody's like a pop culture. So he said purity of philosophy, keeping your standards, your POP, purity of philosophy, not pop as in
yes.
So keeping things pure, keeping things according to the Quran and the Sunnah. There's gonna be times of darura, necessity. We have to relook. Can it be done? But the thing is, keeping the asl, keeping the foundation pure. As a father, how can you sleep comfortably, Sheikh, in your bed, knowing that your daughter is making TikToks in the bedroom, and there's like thousands of boys looking at her dancing? As a,
but someone say beautifully, you say, I'm not surprised how this girl dressing like this. You see, what shocked me and surprised me and put question mark in my mind, that from which house, which house she come out like this? There's no man, there is no shame, there is no izzah, there is no honor.
There's no ghira.
Yeah, your wife or your daughter dress in such a coat and, advertising her. When you dress your wife or your daughter or your sister in such a way that her aura is uncovered, and everyone look at her, so you are saying yes for that. You're advertising her,
It's one thing to do. Nobody is free from sin. We all sin. It's one thing to sin in private. It's another to advertise your sins and get likes and
that's heavy. كل أمتي معافى.
I mean, I think it's one Bangladeshi sister who passed away, and the family was actually crying and appealing to one social media site to close her account. And you can't close an account if you don't have the logins and so she passed away, but she was dancing on TikTok, and now this person was buried, and the family was saying, just put this. I mean, she's like being punished now all the time in the grave.
May Allah protect us. Yes.
So I mean, it's difficult, and parenting is not easy, Sheikh. I mean, when the Prophet ﷺ tells a father of daughters, where they have 2 or 3 daughters, you have that great reward with Allah. It's a ticket to Jannah.
No.
Jannah doesn't come easy. So, like you said, Sheikh, it's not strange to see a girl wanting to do that.
Yes.
But it's strange to see a father
and the parents allowing
it.
Yeah. No, it's really sad, May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. As you say, parenting is not, but there's certain thing we need to instill and inscribe in the mind and the heart of our children. To make, especially the time we live in, you must be wise how you present to them certain things, how you explain to them what is right and wrong, what is good and bad, what is harmful and not. You cannot criticize the child and expect him to listen to you. Ya bunayya, oh my beloved son. They must, if your children is not comfortable to tell you, and keep a secret from you, then you lose as a parent. They must be comfortable, especially daughter to mother, and children come say, no, this happened. So that's very important, and that's boundary we will, can remove it or we can put it, based on how we our relationship with our children. And that's come only when you spend a quality time with them.
Definitely.
You know, when you take your daughters out, they want to go out, Bismillah. They want to go to there, you take them. You'll be their friends. Then they understand. You know, but if you don't do that, somebody else will take them out.
Sheikh, the easiest way is just giving them a device. You know, give them a phone, give them a... And that's like giving somebody a rope to hang themselves when they're not ready.
Yeah, no, that's really something, you know, and that is like opening the door.
Sheikh, and we have this general principle, man. Al-jaza ala qadr al-mashaqqa.
No.
Your reward with Allah is relative to how much effort you put in.
Yes, definitely.
And nobody said parenting is going to be easy. Nobody said being a father to daughters is going to be easy.
It's not
Seeing
easy.
your daughter cry when you tell her no, you can't go out. Seeing your daughter cry when you say no, that outfit is not fit for outside.
Yeah.
Sheikh, I mean, it's easy to say yes, but what are we, like we said, what are we doing? Or do we really love them? I mean, something more, let's not speak about the girls. Generally, parents, Sheikh, for example, I find it very strange. In South Africa now, we have Ramadan in March, April. It's not hot. And yet you find 12, 13-year-olds not having fasted a day in their life. Parents still thinking
Still
they're
young.
small.
Yeah,
They're still young. They're doing big people things, but they're still young. And we think, you know, having them not fast the whole day is like rahmah. Not waking them up for Fajr is rahmah. But what are we actually...
And especially when they are mature, you know. There is certain age, you know, when you can say it's fine, you know, half a day, but you must start somewhere. So when they are in that, you know, age of 12, 13, then they can, you know, although sometimes they are not mukallif and mature, but, you know, that's how you teach them. Man shabba ala shay'in, shabba alayh. If they grow up fasting, grow up, you know, like a young girl grow up with hijabs, then they become attached to hijab, addicted to...
Sure, but there's this tadarruj in parenting. I mean, even in the Sunnah of the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam,
teach them on
seven. So and then there's the reprimanding or the disciplining at 10.
Yes.
But you don't wait till the child is mukallaf and say, okay, now 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Today you have to make salah. Today you have to wear. You have to cover your aura and all these things. I mean,
or you must go to the masjid. You never take your children to the masjid. You never take the boys. Now they are high school.
I heard of children who've never been to Taraweeh in the, I mean, school night, okay. But weekends at least, you have to take your boys for Taraweeh. I've heard of kids 15, 16,
no, we lead by example.
Taraweeh.
We lead by example, Sheikh. I say, you know, a few weeks ago about, you know, waladun salihun yad'u lahu. We're discussing in the radio that a righteous child will make dua for you. How can you expect, you know, your son or your daughter to make dua, but you never link them to Allah? You never tell them about the Quran.
You never
about
gave
modesty.
them the phone number.
Yes, you never take them to the masjid. You never take your children. Where are they going to make dua? They won't have time for themselves to make dua for themselves. How can you expect them to make dua for you? And that's why Umar said, لَقَدْ عَقَقْتَهُ قَبْلَ أَنْ You displease your child by not teaching him, by not taking him to the masjid, by not telling him about the importance of salah, about the importance of respecting the elders, respecting the women, you know, and don't telling your daughter about the importance of, you know, haya and modesty and so on. So how can you expect them to raise their hand and make dua? You know, what they say, الَّذِي تَزْرَعْ تَحْصَدُهُ.
The one who plants will see the fruits.
Yeah.
If you put in that effort, you will see the fruits.
Whatever seed you plant in the child, it will
see.
grow.
Yeah.
So that is very important. It's not easy, yes, and that's why Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala give higher ranks to parents. You know,
and to the mother.
To the mother and to the parents. رضا الرب في رضا الوالد. The pleasure of Allah is in the pleasure of your parents.
أوسط أبواب الجنة. Imagine, Sheikh.
Yeah, the easy way to Jannah is through your parents. And especially the mother. أمك ثم أمك ثم أمك. Your mother, then your mother, then your mother, then your father. Because father is outside. You know, he's working, bringing risk and sustenance. So the child spend more time with the mother. You know, she have a great responsibility. Subhanallah. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala give us tawfiq to understand.
Sheikh, one or two more things before we wrap up, inshallah. So I watched this other podcast where they're speaking about a topic, and then this one Talibul Ilm, he says, we live in a time where it's as if women are above criticism. They are above
criticism.
Yeah, because like I said, ta'a, obedience is an ugly word according to our standards. Amru bil ma'ruf, ordering with good, is also something evil in people's mind. Don't judge. When you say, look here, brother, I mean, even people get upset, Sheikh. You, if it's not in a masjid, perhaps, and the person is praying in the wrong direction, he's about to start his salah, and you tell him, no, Qibla is not that way, person becomes upset.
And that's arrogant, Sheikh. Allah says in the Quran, you know, when we know that we are humble, when somebody advises us, you know, sometimes they say, you know, the Sheikh is strict. Sheikh wants goodness for you. Sheikh wants success for you. Sheikh want, you know, you want you to be successful. Imagine if the woman uncover herself, no? You know, let's say a woman, she doesn't wear hijab. She leave her house. How many person will look at her? The driver of the bus, everybody in the bus, at work, when she come back, how many? Let's say 100. For each and every person look at her, she will be answerable about it, you know, and doesn't mean the man, he will be answerable because I'm looking at her. But imagine she have more sin. He will only be answerable because he look once to her, but she will be answerable because she didn't cover herself.
And it might be playing in his brain at night. And
hundreds of men, they will look at her. She will take a bad deed for each and every person by not covering her body and her aura. So that's something serious. Yes. And he will be answerable. We're not saying the man is innocent, he can look. No. If you look, you know, which you didn't supposed to look, you will be answerable also. But he will look and she will move. You know, he will take one. But imagine how many men will look at her.
Sheikh, often we get this question, right? Like in the week or so, I saw this clip. They caught a lady with lady has a abaya on, niqab, and what seems to be a baby, right? And then they caught her shoplifting, stealing, right? And they say, open the blanket and it's a 5-liter wine. Now, this is somebody, obviously, that maybe she's not Muslim and she just wore the clothing. Often the question comes up, a lady that wears hijab and a lady that doesn't wear hijab, who's better? The same with a beard, Sheikh. Often, a man wears a beard. I don't really think this is a question. I mean, this is not...
Yeah,
that's not either or.
Yeah, and also, this, as I say, you know, Islam and Deen, it's not with the madahir. Even the Jew, where they have some Jew and they have beards, and some Christian women, they cover themselves. So when somebody do that, doesn't mean that's Islam, you know. So I always tell the people, you know, Islam is not Muslim. A Muslim also can make mistake, he can do whatever. So that is, but what our iman say, you know, what our iman say. Now, if I give you a sweet, one is open and one is closed, which one you will take?
The closed one. Definitely. After COVID, with the germs.
The closed one, exactly. Like somebody say, but if Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala create the beauty of the woman, you know, and why she must cover himself? So that the guy asked him, okay, but why, you know, you say, okay, she can uncover herself, but why they cover the chest and the private part? He say, this is decency. He say, this is modesty. If you say decency, I am telling you, this is the modesty of Islam. You know, this is not advertising.
How do you then, if covering those two areas is decency,
so what have left?
Who puts the limits on decency?
Yes.
Tomorrow it could be something else. So decency is different in different places.
And that's why the brother respond to him. He say, that is your definition, but my definition, if you are not happy how the woman is covered, which God commanded her, and this is modesty. So you choose. You want to, if that is decency for you, advertising your...
Sheikh, you know, I'm sure many young sisters are... Everybody wants to get married.
Yes.
Right? And many young sisters think that the more they show, or the more they are on the market, or the people can see them on the market, the bigger chance they have to settle down and, you know, have a nice life as a mother and a wife. But the sad thing is, even the boys who now, you know, mess around with these girls, when it's time for marriage, they won't choose such a type of girl. Then he'll be...
You say, how can you... And that's what you're saying, Sheikh, it's true. He say, no, I can't choose. That's like, it's happened. He say, no, it can't be the mother of my children. SubhanAllah. Can you imagine? May Allah give us tawfiq to understand, inshallah.
Yeah, now, definitely, Sheikh, if you choose a wife, you choosing somebody who's basically a stencil or like a cookie cutter for your daughter. Because your daughter, if you have a daughter with that lady, she'll be the example
of the mother. No, that is it. And that is true. I say we lead by example. You can't expect, but sometimes you will find that.
Yeah.
And what's
But like I
surprising,
said, Sheikh,
a mother with no hijab, but the daughter with hijab. Allah guide whomsoever you wish.
I find that a lot now.
A lot, yeah.
The thing is, Sheikh, generally speaking, there might be that one or two cases.
Yes, but most of the time that, parents lead by example. As I say, you can't expect your children to be in the masjid if you never ever come to the masjid or tell them about salah. And that is the true, and that is the reality.
Sheikh, ending off inshallah, and it's been great speaking to you after such a long time. I think last before Ramadan.
Subhanallah.
What advice, fatherly advice, because you're a father of three girls, two girls. You're a father of two girls. Inshallah, many to come more, sons and daughters, inshallah. Fatherly advice to a young girl that's not too sure about how Islam looks after a woman, treats a woman. 5 minutes of advice in closing.
I will give them the advice always I give my daughters. They must be confident who they are. They must not feel, sacrifice their deen, the identity, the hijab to fit in a community. If someone want to accept you like you are.
Who you are.
As I'm accepting you as a friend, maybe some women with hijab have friend with no hijab. So, sometimes then you must accept me as I am. You understand? So, like example, you cannot force the children to do certain thing. I cannot force my daughter to do certain thing. But I always encourage them. And I always advise them. Whether they like it or they don't like it, but love and hikmah and wisdom, it's very important. You can build a child's confidence or destroy them. You can make them love themselves or hate themselves. So the way you teach them, you must teach them with love, and they must feel that you love them, not you are commanding them. Like
so what you tell them to do is because out of love.
Out of love. And I promise you that they listen, wallahi, when you tell them, look, the reason I say this is not because I love you, and this and this and this, and you explain to them why it is not right. And maybe once they will not listen, second time, third time, then they are firm on it. So it is the great responsibility, and our daughter is the ticket for Jannah. Nabi Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam say, whomsoever have 3 daughters, and he look after them financially, educate them, but he give them iman, he teach them Islam and adab, he teach them the importance of hijab. There will be a barrier between him and Jahannam. So some Sahabi, he say, what about 2? In one narration, 1 daughter. So your daughter is your investment to Jannah. Your son is your investment to Jannah. وَلَدٌ صَالِحٌ يَدْعُو لَهُ. So I know it is not easy, but we must strive and take responsibility, because we will be answerable about it on the day of Qiyamah. أَلَا كُلُّكُمْ مسؤول كلكم راع وكلكم مسؤول عن رعيته. Allah say everyone will be responsible. So may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala give us tawfiq to understand. And it is fine to choose for your children who they must be their friend.
Definitely.
Because as-sahibu sahib. Your friend, maybe your children, they're good, but they mix with, many people, as Sheikh know, they become like, fall, out of the sirat al-mustaqim because of their friends. And you can't blame the parents for that. And that's why it's very important also to choose who I must allow my daughter to be with and who I must not allow, to protect their iman and their deen and their akhirah.
Sheikh, and even that, like you said, we teach them from a point of love.
Yes.
And when we do reprimand them or we do guide them, they must understand that we're doing it from a point of love, and that whatever we're keeping them away from is not good for them.
Yes.
Because what happens if we, like you said, command, in the absence of the parent, they would then just do, because now it's like a bird set out of a cage
Aywa.
or a prisoner set out of jail.
Sah.
But I mean, what stops you 5 minutes before Maghrib, or even 30 seconds? You're sitting at the iftar table, all those niceties are in front of you, but it's not Maghrib yet. You do it out of love for Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. You can pick up that samosa. Nobody's going to stop you.
Yes.
But you do it out of love. If you don't have that love for Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, then we have that term in Cape Town they call eat achter die bak. You heard of that, Sheikh? If somebody yuftir fi nahari Ramadan, they say eat achter die bak. No, I mean, if in the absence of love, you think nobody can see you do. And teaching kids with love is something so important.
Oh, it's very important, exactly. You can't teach someone if you don't have a relationship with them. And that's why the Prophet ﷺ, whomsoever met the Prophet ﷺ, he felt that he is special.
Yeah.
Especially when you're children, when you sit with one, special. When then and you can't say just do this and this right and wrong. You must explain to them. We are living in such a time. Children won't listen to you, Sheikh. It's not easy.
No.
But when you sit with them, you hug them, you say, look here, the reason I say this is this. You explain to them, then they understand. But if you just command them, as you say, one day they will, just doing it for the sake of command. If you're not there, they won't do it anymore. Subhanallah. So
Barakallah feekum, Shaykh.
Protect us, inshallah, and protect everyone. May Allah protect and reward our mother, our sister, our wife, our daughter, and make them a means for us to grow closer to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. May Allah make us among those who respect the women, respect the mother, respect the wife, respect the daughters, and subhanallah, why not? And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, Rabbul Alameen, has honored them, subhanallah. So may Allah protect us, inshallah. Barakallahu feekum.
Wa feekum barakallah, and shukran, Sheikh, for spending these few minutes with us, sharing gems, sharing wisdom like you do every day on the radio, mashallah.
Alhamdulillah,
and I'm sure it's called madrasa, or the people actually sit and take notes and
yes, a lot.
Mashallah.
The people, I was in Pilek, and I was then somebody called me, say, come, Sheikh. Please come inside, and you see this old man with a beard. He say, this is your student. I say, student? This man can be older than my grandfather. He say, no. And I can't. He say, you know this? Because I was not wearing qamis. I was wearing lungi. So he say, no, this is Shaykh Esa from the radio. So the old grandfathers, Allah Akbar. Then when he come out from there, I say, Allahu Akbar. Wallahi, Shaykh, you will not know who can learn from you. Allah, that make me emotional when I come out. I say, oh, this old man, he's writing, subhanallah. May Allah accept from us and always use us for his deen.
Ameen. May Allah put that in your mizan al-hasanat,
Ameen, ya Rabbil Alameen.
Until we meet again.
Inshallah,
safe home,
barakallah
Sheikh. Barakallah feekum. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
هلا بالخميس هلا بالخميس ويكند عيال هلا بالخميس هلا بالخميس هلا بالخميس ويكند عيال